Friends, today's video I am going to be showing you how to take this store, tips that you can use as well, but taking this store from making $1,000 a month selling on eBay to $8,000 a month working 10 hours or less and doing it in just 1 month. So this is a video you are not gonna want to miss. I'm gonna be reviewing this store and telling you things that he can do or they can do to increase their sales and work only 10 hours a month. Before we get into the actual store review, in order to figure out how to get to the $8,000, we need to look at where they're at right now so that we can manipulate and move the numbers to get to the goal that we want to be at. And that comes with looking at this platinum formula for resellers Google sheet. This is a sheet for sale. You can purchase it down below if you guys want to do this for yourself as well. If you want your store reviewed, I also do paid store reviews on my website. There's a coupon code down below and it does come, everything I'm doing here and more, it'll come with that, and a sheet will come with that in the store review as well. But currently where they're at. So let me tell you a little background about this seller. This seller is an Amazon seller, and everything that they sell on eBay is Amazon return. So it's items that they already have. I'm assuming they probably already have photos, and making a listing is probably going to be pretty easy for them because they already have the item listed on Amazon, right? So it's not in the eBay format, but they already have all of the information. So that's going to limit some of the time. It's also going to limit the time that they need to source. So it's kind of where we're sitting at with this seller. I think they're just wanting to get some of their money back from selling on Amazon and the returns that they have that they maybe aren't selling back on Amazon. So we're looking at the golden formula for resellers. If you're new to the channel, all this is doing is telling you how the variables that it takes to make the money that you want to make. Your gross revenue is your very top number. This is how much money that you make. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty, you can look at the platinum formula to the resellers, which kind of goes over here and takes into account your cost of goods, your fees, and your shipping. For the sake of this video, I'm not looking into that quite as much because their cost of goods is associated with Amazon, and the way that they account for it is different, and the shipping and fees they weren't exactly sure of. So we're not getting into the platform formula. We're looking at the golden formula, and all that it means is how many items you're selling at how much they're selling for makes up your gross revenue. But once you break it into these three variables, you can work specifically on one of those three items or multiples of them to figure out how to increase your gross revenue. Sometimes you have control over it, sometimes you don't. So currently where they're sitting at is their sell through. So sell through, and you can see there's formulas down here. If you guys are new to the channel, you're like, oh my god, what is she talking about? How do I do this for myself? The formula, the dashboard, this isn't a dashboard, the Google sheet will do this for you. However, the Google sheet will do this for you, but your sell-through rate you do need to come up with. So they're at 44%, which means of the 121 listings that they had, 44% of those have sold in a month. That is absolutely fantastic. It makes sense because they're Amazon returns, so they're probably highly sought after inventory. They have 121 active listings for sale, and on average, they're selling their items for $34.66. This means their gross revenue, we're just multiplying all these numbers together, is $1,845. They want to get to $8,000. And friends, I'm going to show you in 1 month, we're going to look at it, and I'm going to show you what they can do in 1 month, working 10 hours a week to get there. This means if they want to make $8,000 in 1 month, they need to have 525 active listings. That is 16 daily listings. So down here, this is something I've actually added for the sake of this video and probably future videos to kind of look at how your time is associated, but you could do it for your time as well. If they need to list 16 items a day, they only have 10 hours that they're spending on eBay. That would put them, I'm going to actually make this into, I'm going to take this one out. We're going to put that to 0 because they're not sourcing. This is stuff that they already have. You don't have to account for their sourcing. So currently, based off of, let's say they can list in 5 minutes, let's say they can ship in 3 minutes or less, my guess would be they are probably quicker at this because they already have photos. They probably already have all the information from Amazon. So they can probably do this quicker. And I would venture to say if they're an Amazon seller, their shipping process is probably pretty efficient. So, but let's just say these are my listing times. So let's just say that they can do it as well. That puts them at 14 hours to get to where they want to go in 1 month. But what I want to show you is, let's get their sell-through rate up to 60%, and now we're down to 11 hours. That's also going to increase this a little bit as well, and now we're down to 10 hours. So now the question is, their active listings are naturally going to increase as they're listing more. So I'm not too concerned about that. And my guess would be, because they already have a store on Amazon, getting more items is not a big deal to them. They already have sourcing, they already have items available. What we're going to focus on is increasing that sell-through rate, because you saw increasing the sell-through rate meant what they already had available was selling. And their store, we're going to take a look at their store, but let's look at how you can increase your sell-through rate before we look at their store and show ways that you can actually do it. This is another, that's not it. That is one that I have, but that's not the one I want to talk about today. This is a download that you can have. You can print it out. It's like $1 on my website, or save this video so you can come back and look at it. Again, at the top, you have the golden formula for resellers. You pick one of the variables, sometimes multiples, right? We said, hey, their active listings are increasing because they're going to be listing more. But then also, let's increase their sell-through rate. Because I know, I looked at their, I've done a couple videos today, so my voice is tired. I have looked at their store already, and there's many ways that we can work on increasing our sell-through rate, which takes no more money, very little time. It'll take maybe an hour up front to go through it and update some of these things. Sell-through rate. Things that you can do to increase how many items you're selling. This is running sales. This is setting offers. This is doing promoted listings, listing quality, pulling a listing quality report, cross-listing, becoming a volume seller, right? And then in-demand inventory. So why does running sales work? Why does sending offers work? And I'm going to show you exactly why. Free returns, running sales, any of these things work. Because when someone is on eBay, let's say we go to eBay, there's 1.9, and they don't sell jeans, but that's just an easy thing for me to type in, but 1.9 million pairs of jeans. That means it's really, really hard for people to see your items. If they do not see your items, they cannot buy your items. So your purpose right now is to come up in search. And that's where this one comes in, right? It's a funnel. Impressions. You want to get in front of buyers. They cannot buy your item if they do not see it first. That is the first thing. You can have the best inventory in the world, but if the person does not know that you have it, they cannot buy it. This is where coming up in search, your organic ways, coming up in search, so working on sales, best offers, free shipping. This is why people tell you to do it. It doesn't mean you have to. Do some strategies. I'll link some videos up here. Peek around my eBay tutorial playlist, because I walk you through how to set up all of these things, but then also how to look at your data and analytics and figure out if it's actually working and if you're actually making money doing it, right? Because it's going to be different for everybody based off of your business and based off of what you sell. So my YouTube tutorial doesn't just tell you how to do it, but it walks you through the data and analytics on the back end to figure out if it's actually working for you. Any way that you can, we're on the search, any way that you can filter down on the search, accept offers, condition. I can click on free shipping. I can scroll down here. This is your item specifics. This is why, I know it's a pain, friends, but this is why doing your item specifics is so important, because if you do this correctly, it's filtering down to put your item in front of a potential buyer. If you do it incorrectly, let's say someone clicks on big and tall and you're like, oh, I want to come in front of as many buyers as possible. I'm going to select all of these. Someone clicks on big and tall, it comes up in front of them and your item's not actually big and tall. They're not clicking on it. And what eBay's algorithm actually does is it puts you in all of these places, and the more times it puts your listing in front of places and it doesn't get a click on, or essentially at the end of the day it doesn't get purchased, it stops putting you in front of places, because the algorithm is saying, hey, I'm putting it out there and nobody wants this, I'm going to put other things out there. So fill out the item specifics to the best of your ability that makes sense for the item. Do not fill it out if it does not make sense, because that can actually start suppressing your items. You go down here, new with tags, but this is why accepts offers, buy it nows. Friends, you can say accepts offers You don't have to accept every offer. It just means that you're now coming up on this search. And look, all of the listings, and this is a really good indication because there's so many pairs of jeans, 8.1 million pairs of jeans. If you accept offers, you are now down to over half of the listings are off of your competition because you accept offers. Right? This is it. You're limiting your competition and you're getting in front of the right buyers. This is why all of these strategies work. Free shipping does the same thing. Free returns, returns accepted, completed items sold, deals and savings. That's why running a sale. The sale isn't necessarily about a lower price. While your price has to be competitive, it's more about when someone clicks on deals and savings, it comes up and you're getting down to getting in front of more buyers, right? It starts at the top, organic. Now, organic is you're getting it for free, right? Promoted is you're paying for it. And this person is paying for promoted listings. And I'm going to say, I'm going to walk you through some of the strategies on their channel, but I'm going to say that they need to work on a lot of their organic things. They're already paying for the promoted, but once they work on their organic, their sell-through rate's going to go up as well. In-demand inventory, use TerraPeak. I'll link a video up here on how to use TerraPeak. Listing quality report. Pull a listing quality report. I'm so glad they did not get rid of this. I will link a video up here on how to do it. Pulling a listing quality report looks at your listings in every single category that you're at and compares you to the top 5 and the bottom 5% of sellers in your category. So it's not eBay saying, hey, you need 12 items or 12 photos, or you need 13 item specifics. It's saying, hey, here's the information. The top 5% of sellers, or the people that are selling in this category, your competition, they are including 12 photos. They are doing free shipping. They are doing free returns. Your goal is to be that top 5%. Go through, and the listing quality report video that I have walks you through how to run the report, and then it walks you through, it's a lot of information, but it'll walk you through how to use that report to become the best listing, because getting in front of your buyers and being the best listing organically is going to increase your sell-through. It's going to increase your sales without spending any money. So let's take a look at their store. Again, this is available for download, or save this video so you can come back and look at it. This is their store. The first thing that I'm going to say, it's very clean. I can tell they don't have a store, and I can see they only have 121 items, and maybe they don't want to pay for a store, or maybe they do have a store and they just don't have it set up because they're doing promoted. I'm not sure, but if they have a store, set it up. If they don't have a store, get a store. And I'm going to link a video up here about why you should have a store. And it's not just about how many listings that you're doing every single month, which has to do with it because you get free listings with it, right? But it's about the features and the tools and analytics that come with a store that allow you to elevate your business. And with that comes a banner up here. And with that, you should put a photo here. You have, there's like 13 different store features. I'll link a video up here if you're interested in how to do those. I walk you through how to do them all. But the more store features you have set up, the more it sets you apart from other sellers on eBay. And there's 1.9 million pairs of jeans on eBay. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me know down below if you guys know how many actual sellers there are on eBay. Friends, it's a lot, like millions, maybe. I mean, we're talking different countries, categories, like there's a lot out there. You need to set yourself apart. And so setting up the store features is going to help you do that. About, they have no about, like what makes them different. Now, I know their main selling point is on Amazon, so they probably haven't put a ton of time in this. They can probably spend 30 minutes going through and filling out all the store features to make their shop look like a store and set them apart from, set them apart from other sellers. They are a top rated seller, which is absolutely fantastic. If you're watching this video and you're like, how do I elevate my reselling? What do I do? I'm new at this. How do I get better? Top rated seller is the number one thing I'm going to say. Figure out how to become a top rated seller. eBay is literally telling you what they value and what they, once you become top rated, they give you more exposure. So that you're automatically getting more exposure for doing it. They're telling you what they value, and what they value is based off of research on what the buyer values, right? So become a top rated. So kudos to doing that. Set up your store features. Set up a banner, there's like a little sale that you can be running, or like that like takes you, I think it's called a banner, and it like takes you somewhere else. You can have, hey, this just in, or the newest categories featuring this. You can also send out newsletters. Now, currently they only have 15 followers, but they're already at a 44% sell-through rate, which is, by the way, killer, but they're already at a 44% sell-through rate. If they can increase those followers, and then they can send out a newsletter when you have a store, you can do this to your followers, send out a newsletter. They have great inventory. Buyers are going to come back to them. And if buyers come back to them, they're not having to worry so much about all of the other things in their listings, because they're just getting buyers that come back. And research shows that repeat buyers are more willing to spend more money because they already know that they're going to have a great experience and get a product that they know, and they're willing to support a product that they know, right? So now I want to scroll down. I would definitely put this into like different categories and organize it a little bit. My guess would be some of this formatting on the photos is kind of weird. I would guess it's formatted for Amazon and they just are using the same photos. I don't think that it's necessary to do two different formats for both of them. If there's a way to do a photo that works for Amazon and use the same photo for eBay to where it looks like that, I would definitely do that. Photos seem really clean. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of their listings. This is Nerf Super Soaker. Not my realm. I know nothing about this category. However, we can go through and look at the listing and see things that they can be offering based off of increasing their sell-through rate and becoming more impressions. So you can see here they have a best offer. I'm going to go back one thing real quick. They don't have a sale running, right? So here's the thing. You can run a sale for 5%. You can increase your entire store by 5% and then run a sale for 5%. It's not necessarily about the price, which you should definitely have a competitive price, but it's more about coming up in those searches. So I would definitely start running this sale. Do it all the time. I don't know that you'd have to play with it. I think it depends on the category and what you're selling and your business strategy. Some say running a sale for 2 days because the people are like, oh, the sale's gonna end tomorrow, or running it for a month. Mess around with it a little bit, but I would definitely run a sale. Like I said, they are top rated. They do have offers on it. They have a different additional service. They have free shipping. So they're coming up on that, which is kudos to them for the free shipping. Estimated time delivery, 30-day returns, buyer pays for return shipping. Again, this is one of the things. Free returns is going to pop you up on that search in more times. I don't sell Nerves, so I don't know what the cost benefit analysis is here, how much it costs to ship one and then getting it returned, what the return rate is. What I can tell you is I've done a video up here from my store, but I walk you through how to run that analysis, how to look at your return rates, and how to look at how much it costs you to do returns and see if you're actually making money on it. Because one of the things that happens with returns, they're a top-rated seller. You're a top-rated seller, you add free returns on, and there's one other thing they have to add on that we'll look at in a minute. But you add that on and you get a fee discount on every single item that sells. And so for me, because I sell women's clothing, it's mostly first class. For me, the savings in returns, the savings in the fees outweighs. I actually make more money in the savings in the fees than I get in returns. And I will say women's fashion has one of the highest return rates because of fit, right? Regardless of me including measurements, even if the measurements are there, we get it on and it doesn't look right and it doesn't fit. So you may want to do that cost benefit and consider doing free returns. On that note, I'm going to scroll down and say the second thing that I would say so that they can become top rated seller plus is usually ships within 2 business days of receiving. So to become top rated seller plus, you have to be top rated. You have to add free returns, and then you have to ship in 1 business day. Now, do not say you're going to ship in 1 business day if you cannot do it. This will be far worse because you only get so many dings or so many times of being late that it's going to start actually making it worse for you. So if it's not something that you can manage and maintain, then absolutely it's not worth it because it will actually do that opposite impact. If somehow you can figure out to do it for 1 business day, then I would absolutely recommend doing that because then now you're becoming top rated seller plus. They are doing international, which is going awesome. It's going to help increase their sales. The one thing I want to know, that they are already doing, but if you're out there watching and you want to know things that you can be doing, they are promoting their listings. Now, I'm going to say, if you look here, the first things you should do, no, let's look at this one. Nope, let's look at this one. The first thing that you should do is organic. Organic is free. Don't start promoting your listings. They're already doing it. But if you're out there like, how do I get more sales? What should I do? Don't start promoting your listings until you have done everything in the organic realm that's free to you besides your time. Don't start paying to promote your listings until you've done all the free stuff, because then you're just paying money for listings that aren't the best that they can be, right? So paying the money isn't necessarily going to outweigh it. Now, once this is all the best that it can be, you can do promoted listing ads. Now, what is that if you're new to eBay? Promoted listings ads is paying eBay. They have a couple different programs out there. I'll put the link down below on eBay so you can read more about it. What I've heard most people do, they have a couple new betas out there, but most people are doing promoted listings just the regular, which is you pay them a percent. You say, hey, I'm willing to pay you this percent, and you set the standard for it. I'm willing to pay you this percent if the item sells. So you're not paying for it if it doesn't sell. And what happens here is if you pay them, they're doing direct media marketing for you, which is absolutely amazing, because it's expensive, friends. I know it sucks to pay eBay additional fees, but to go look it up, go see how much it would cost you to run your ads on other ad spaces, and it's probably more than eBay is charging us. And the awesome thing about this is if you look at a listing, so we're looking at their listing, which is this Super Soca Nerf whatever, which my kids would absolutely love. What it's doing is if you see the similar sponsored items or related sponsored items, or eBay puts it in over 100 places in front of potential buyers. So right, this is exactly what the buyer is looking at, and it's saying, hey, we have this one for new. It's $35, and the buyer has 100% positive feedback, right? It's putting it in front of potential buyers. It's getting you more impressions and more traffic. I'm going to link a video up here. If I've run out of cards, I'll link it down below on why you need to pay attention to impressions, right? I've been talking a lot about impressions, getting your items seen. So you do all of these things, and how do you know that they're actually working? Check out this video or link down below where I walk you through all the charts on eBay that are going to show you that it is actually working. And you are getting more impressions. But putting it promoted, they're already doing promoted. So they're at 44% with promoted. If they add just a couple of these things that I talked about, their sell-through rate easily go up to 60%. They're at 121, and now they're just over, they're at 11 hours. So if they spend the next month listing 12 items every single day, I'd venture to say it takes them less than the time that I put here, because they already have most of the stuff that they need for the listing. In 10 hours a week, they can go from making $1,000 a month to $8,000. Now, most of you, that's not your goal, but all of these tips that I'm giving are going to work for you as well.